He's like a son to me, and I only know him as a happy young man in my home. And to hear the testimony, the evidence of how he was tortured and abused, it just breaks my heart that people could do that to a child. And I'm happy that he's our son now, and he will be for as long as he wants to be. And I'm just so happy for him that he can move on. And I think he would say thank you to everybody that helped justice today. And I think that he's happy that the people who did this to him won't be able to find him and do anything to him again. I think that was his greatest fear, that he expressed to us in the very beginning that he was afraid for our safety as well because he was living in our home. And to hear that from a child, that he was even afraid at our house, was heartbreaking. And that's why we were here, to see justice all the way through, so we can go back and tell him that he never has to worry again.
I think a person living under those conditions would block out as much as they can so they could just survive another day. And I think that's what he did. And I think when you talk about a person's spirit, I think that comes to the front and helps a person survive when they're going against all odds. You have to remember, they told him his parents were dead, his brothers were dead, his family was dead. They told him nobody wanted him, they told him not to trust anybody, that they were the only people in the world for him to take care of him. And he lived in that nightmare of the people he had to live with or the people that treated him the worst.
They looked at everything. They had Kyle's testimony read back to them. That took a day and a half. They compared it to things he had said before, to just compare, if there was an inconsistency, was it major? They just really did their job.
It was a very tough case, and it's evidenced by the fact that it took them 4 days to rule. From what I understand, that they spent a considerable amount of time basically parsing all the evidence and going through every statement that we made, and every statement, well, in closing at least, and every statement that Kyle made throughout the number of interviews and the number of testimony that he gave over the years. And at the end, that's what they decided. Obviously, Mr. Waiters is very disappointed in the outcome, but he'll consider his legal options at this point when we come back in January.